Deary me. Igor, how would you like to start the show, Igor? Do you have do you want to step into my confessional booth?
Yeah, here we go. Igor and Sam's husband spat of the day.
Tested our relationship, haven't you already?
That's it. Have we actually had our argument yet? No, we haven't had our first domestic yet.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
Yes.
We were definitely close, weren't we?
I love how you forgot it, but you've given him the mic. That was really nice of you. That says a lot about you as a person, Sam.
You know, it's fine. I felt a bit flustered, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I could tell. But I could see the look in your eyes. It wasn't even anger or anything like that. It's just, I'm disappointed.
You know what, like, on a serious note though, when stuff like,
I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
On a serious note though, stuff happens in, like, let's not get into business chat straight away, but stuff happens in business and you either deal with it or you just moan about it. And actually, we just got on with it.
Yeah.
I said to you, it is what it is, let's just crack on.
Yeah.
We found a solution.
Yeah.
You know, the audio quality won't be as superior as we would usually come to expect with this podcast.
And just to put context into it.
And that's on you. And, you know, it's fine. When I listen back to it, I know that I'm not to blame.
Yeah, Igor forgot his mic, so yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to do you like a nice little printed out diagram of a checklist.
A checklist of
everything. Almost like a kid's one with like a big box that you can tick off before you leave Peterborough next time. But anyway, we could ramble on about that for a while. Rebecca Carpenter, welcome to Derby. I wanted to buy one of those big confetti thingies and I completely forgot.
Yes, you did say.
So like, there's the imaginary confetti cannon. We did get you a Coke Zero and some Colin Caterpillars though.
Colin the Caterpillars and Connie as well. You guys, thank you for swapping.
We know you.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's the least we can do. It's just good to have you here. Welcome to Barbados.
Sound levels are going to be all over the place with this one, but I love it.
Do we start off just by going, how's Trix? How are you?
I'm great. I am loving life. Travelled first class this morning.
I said that to Amy. I said to Amy the other day, how's Trix? She went, what do you mean? I went, how's Trix? And she went, what? I went, how's Trix? She went,
kids these days,
honestly,
Gen Z, that's what it is.
Yeah, you enjoyed your first class travel?
I loved it, absolutely loved it.
It's the future, isn't it?
She's like, do you have your ticket? I was like, yes I did. Loved it, I was waiting for that. And I thought, do I look like I fit in here? Probably not.
Passing all the peasants' carriages and...
Were you on your phone going, buy? No, sell.
It is the cliche. Everyone in there was talking business.
Yeah.
Which I thought
and you were just
not the quiet coach, and I was just like, okay. No, really good. Thank you. Really good.
It's a pleasure. It's good to have you here. Thank you for giving us your time.
My pleasure.
We've been wanting to have you here for a very long time, literally.
We've even shown you the board, havenno we, where it says Carpenter.
I'm on the board. Not even Rebecca, just Carpenter.
You can tick that off. You can tick your name off in a little bit.
Oh, thanks, guys.
But no, it's been... I said to Igor yesterday, I said, I feel like I really know Rebecca, but I've never met her. And I remember this morning that we have met.
Once.
We met once in March, didn't we? So, but I think we both feel like we
very much so.
And I think that's a massive compliment. And we'll obviously get onto kind of why we think that in a little bit. But I think it's a really what's the phrase? Like, just I don't know. It's just I feel like we get to kind of see your world and like we just I don't know. We just feel like we're really good mates with you already. And we've barely met.
It's true.
We're very excited to have you here, so thank you thanks for coming up.
So stoked, like massive fan.
Because obviously we're in the middle of the wedding season, things are busy, so you could have just gone, sorry guys, can we wait till? But you haven't. You've gone for it. Are you a say yes kind of girl?
Yes. Well, I am a yes girl, but selective, yeah.
Come on, I'm all about that. Selective. Hold on, let me rephrase the question. Are you a selective yes kind of girl?
Yes.
Yes. Brilliant.
No. It really is a pleasure to have you here because you've got such a strong brand and as a person you're just incredible, really. You really are. So my wife absolutely loves you.
I love your wife. Shout out to Z, who I follow on Instagram, and I actually messaged her like, hey, is it cool if I follow your wife? Like,
because I don't actually post personal
that would be
stuff.
Weird.
I know more about your life through your wife's
through my wife.
Instagram.
It's true. That should change, shouldn't it? So but no. Once again, thank you for being here. It's absolutely amazing.
A formal apology about the mic.
Oh my days!
I will let it go. I promise you, I will let it go. Come on, just do as a formal apology, and then we can move on.
Tap it and be like,
I am really, really sorry for forgetting the mic. And I was actually Googling John Lewis and whatever shops that I could find to see for actually just buy one outright there and then. But yeah, but we didn't have time.
Apologies accepted. Let's move on.
Okay, I love you. But yeah, going back to Rebecca Carpenter, tell us a bit about you. Just you growing up and just about you in general, really.
Okay.
Just anything.
Oh, like where do we begin? Like, how far back do you want to go?
We're not in a rush here.
No, it's going to be a long one. And I'm actually keeping it very open-ended for that specific reason. So.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm Rebecca. Born and raised in Bristol. But I don't have the accent, so I'm a bit of a fraud. I'm one of 6 kids, so I'm from a big family. My dad is Chinese, mum's English, so I'm Chinglish.
Chinglish, yeah.
You'd say. And wedding photographer, mama to baby girl Winnie, and I live in Kent with my husband John. And you know, you actually think, oh, why have I gone completely blank about, I feel like do I go for my entire history? But I actually studied musical theatre and dance at university.
Amazing.
So, you know, most people end up wedding photography, they just land into it.
Yeah.
It wasn't always the dream.
Well, you said it was your background, didn't you, before?
Yeah.
Like last week, and it was like...
Do you want to go through that? Is that
I do. I
can pull it up.
It was like a 4-page essay.
Literally.
Here we go.
I mean, I feel like when Dan came on the other week, he kind of set a standard, didn't he?
It really did.
I can beat that.
I think Carpenter's giving him a run for his money.
So these are the sort of like jobs and roles that Carpenter has.
I could probably go and have a little nap.
Literally.
10 minutes.
So yeah, she's been at Ponty's Blue Coat. What is that, first of all?
Like a red coat at Butlins, but blue.
It's sort of like high leather?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well,
still.
Yeah.
Selling shots on roller skates. Wow. Face paint at London Zoo at Kew Gardens. Holiday rep for Thompson. Dancing and singing teacher. Handing out flyers for burgers in Covent Garden, children's entertainer at Hamley's toy store, stuffed teddy bears, and there's a lot of toys here.
Yeah.
Okay. Worked as
children's toys.
Worked as background extra on EastEnders, Holby City, Law and Order, and Peep Show.
You made it.
Toy demonstrator, worked in Harrods toy department. There is a trend here. Trade show demonstrator selling steam irons. So random. Shopping channels assistant presenter. Sewing machine expert on the shopping channel. Fashion blogger. Sold life insurance over the phone.
That's the one that doesn't fit in.
Yeah,
I can't see you selling life insurance. How long did
that was like 2 months.
I was really good. Really good.
I like a confidence.
Honestly, that's how I learned to be assertive.
Really?
Telesales, you do telesales.
Yeah.
That makes you resilient.
It's true though, because you learn how to take note from people or get no in your face a lot and build resilience. That's for sure. All right, let me carry on.
Oh my God, we're still going.
3 more to go. Christmas elf, receptionist for a hearing aid company, freelance television presenter presenting at London Fashion Week, as you do. Have interviewed dozens of celebrities from Anne Wintour to Jamila Jamil. An official Disney party princess until received cease and desist legal letter from Disney legal team.
I bet you're really glad.
I don't even know where to start with some of that.
So that's probably better to kind of give you that, and then I could probably.
Yeah.
There you go. That's kind of.
That's incredible. First of all,
how have you fit all that? How do you do all that?
Such a job hopper. So recruiters call these people notorious job hoppers.
Yeah.
And I have to justify this every time I had an interview. Every time. But you know what? No regrets, because every single one of those jobs, even down to face painting, has made me the person I am today. Yeah. I think it's definitely worked to my favour. I think it's a businesswoman, because it's kind of like the apprentice when everyone does all the tasks.
Yeah.
I've been like, I could do that.
Yeah, I've done that.
Definitely did actually audition for the apprentice.
Do it better.
Yeah, I would probably apply again. But I got through the first couple of rounds for the apprentice. Another one for the CV. But I've walked away with really good valuable skills from each job, and I loved it. But I think I was still like soul searching. Yeah. And the goal for loads of years was to be a children's presenter. That was like the goal. Yeah. Forever, and that's what I was working towards. But it just didn't work out. I had 2 screen tests over 3 years, and I didn't get it. It was like soul destroying. And then I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And
did you have a sort of like particular show that you consider the pinnacle?
I wanted to
like
be like
Blue Peter or
the breakfast, like the kids singing in the CBBS, that's like what I wanted to do. And it was, I just didn't get there. And I was like, what do I do? So I became a party princess, and then Disney sent me a legal letter. Good times. So I shut that down. But I always had a camera. It was always there, but you don't really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I knew how to set up a business, because obviously I did with my previous company. And then...
And what was that?
So when I had... a camera or...
A previous company.
So the Disney Princess.
Okay.
Unofficial Disney. I had a whole team of girls working for me. And
no way.
I took all the photos, did the marketing for that. I had to shut it down.
This was serious.
Yeah, it was serious. And then they've called me on the phone. It was pretty scary, but you don't go up against the mouse, is what they say. You wouldn't stand a chance. And it is copyright infringement, like, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
We were. And I just had to shut it down. But then I learnt all the skills of how to set up a website, an Instagram, how to market.
You just have to put your hands up and go, I'm sorry, I didn't realise. But I think that your list there of everything you've been through, that is really what your 20s is about, isn't it?
Exactly.
You said something then that really struck me and was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I think that kind of comes from, like, I think about our experiences. Like, I look at my friends that, get into like 22, 23, and they're like, I'm in my career.
Yeah.
I'm in it. And I'm like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't go to uni until I was 23. And I just spent my years kind of trying to figure stuff out. And I think we're all kind of similar in that sense. And actually, you look at those people now that got into those jobs at 22, 23, they're like, midlife crisis. What am I going to do? I hate my job. Like, I don't hate mine.
No.
I have a great time.
That's it.
And I think you really appreciate what you do when you've done all that. Like handing out flyers in the pouring rain, cold calling people for insurance. That is tough. And I have so much respect for people who work in customer services and telesales, because it's brutal. It is tough, and then it makes you really appreciate. You
take rejection every 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, don't you? Pretty much.
So when people kind of ghost me for inquiries, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I'm like, okay.
John's having to pick you up off the floor. You're in a ball of tears. Susan from Kettering said she's booked somebody else.
She doesn't want me.
Who are they?
So are you settled in wedding? Would you say wedding photography is the first thing that you've really settled in?
Yes, definitely.
You're not job hopping from this?
No, definitely not. I do feel now it all makes sense, like the presenting, the kind of teaching, the training, all the previous jobs I had, I've applied to this and it all makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, it really does. Yeah. It's really weird.
Because you have had and let's not play down, a really meteoric rise in the industry.
Really have.
Like you're what, 3-4 years in?
This is my fifth but minus COVID.
Minus a year and a half of COVID.
Which is controversial, and I'll admit, as in, people must be like, who does she think she is? What? Like, she doesn't know. And in the beginning, I would be honest, I would mask that I was new. I would post pictures I thought people wanted to see, or what my peers would want, and we are guilty of that. I think, if I post this, other photographers are going to really like it, and we are guilty of this. And I did that because I didn't want people to know I was new.
Yeah.
But
I think what I love about that and your journey of the last 4 or 5 years is like that you, for me, represent like the kind of the epitome of what you can do if you're like passionate about something, you work hard at it, and like you're unbelievably consistent with your approach.
Yeah.
Like when you do that, I get so fed up when I hear people going, how do I go and get inquiries, or what do I do about what?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to just shout about it and be consistent.
Nobody else
keep showing up.
is going to big you up apart from you in the very beginning, and people don't know what you can do. And this is what I tell people all the time. And if you are like, you can be the most technically excellent, best photographer in the world, but if you cannot market those images, no one's going to know about you.
Doesn't just apply to photography. It's any industry for me.
Yeah,
any industry is the same. How's your second Coke Zero going down?
Great. Buzzing.
Amazing. So when did you actually shoot your first wedding? How did it sort of like happen? Was it someone that kind of like asked you, or did you sort of like chase that?
So my manager at Hamleys, I told her that I was going to pursue wedding photography, and she said, so you're really serious about this photography? And I was like, yeah, I really am. She's like, well, my friends are getting married, they have no money. I was like, I'll shoot it for free, I'll shoot it. And she's like, okay, like go meet with them. I borrowed a second camera from somebody at work, so I couldn't afford a second camera, a second body. and shot it for £100. And it made the cover of a magazine.
Incredible.
It was just
First wedding.
And I look back now, I think, oh my God, Rebecca, what? But I felt like when I was doing it, I was like, this is what I should be doing. It made sense. It all just kind of fell into place, and it was like a massive aha moment. It's
just a sort of like affirmation that, I'm doing this right.
And
I think some people would look at that and go, oh, you were dead lucky.
No.
Like you were lucky. I really just don't buy into that. I think you make your own luck. Yes, I think you do. You do.
And
like that wasn't just a moment that happened because of that's a build up of things that have gone on behind the scenes that no one sees or realises have gone on.
And it was and from then I shot that, and then I was made redundant from Hamleys, and I used my redundancy money to buy another camera.
Again, everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Exactly. And at the time, I was devastated because I loved that job.
You do hear that a lot though, don't you? Like people that are made redundant, like that's the push they needed.
That is, and it was the push, and that money I used.
Do you think if you weren't made redundant, you would have found that way eventually?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think
but it gave me the push, and then I had another job as a receptionist.
It probably just happened sooner, didn't it?
Yeah, and then I went full time under a year.
Yeah,
like it was.
I constantly speak to people, and whenever they tell me that they've been.
You speak to other people.
You're special. You're special. You're special, Sam. Okay. But yeah, constantly speak to other photographers, and you hear that story so many times in terms of being made redundant. I already have people in my mind of hearing that story, and I constantly say, so well done, so good on you, because for me it was completely the opposite. I sort of like just kept grinding at my sort of like MasterCard job, and looking back, I had wished that something had pushed me.
You ran 2 big jobs for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, but at the same time, I reckon I could have grown faster if I'd had that jump a bit earlier. So yeah, it's great, absolutely great.
It's a really tricky one because it is probably a question you guys get asked. People say, when do you know when to go full time?
Yeah.
And it's a really tricky one because so many factors play into that. If you've got mortgage, if you've got rent to pay.
Exactly.
But very often, I found when I did leave, I had all this extra time to put even more foot on the gas, and go even faster and do even more.
And that's the thing you can't plan for.
No, and you can't see that, and it is a massive risk. It is scary, and it is, but in business, it is a risk.
You're pulling all your chips in, aren't you?
Yeah, and you can be super careful and cautious, but look at COVID. Like, you could even have savings, you could have this, but no one could predict it that we could not even do our jobs.
No.
So it was definitely the best thing to ever happen to me, without a doubt.
Amazing.
Can you go back to Hamleys?
Now?
Yeah.
No, I love my job. I love my job.
But you're right though, they all serve a purpose, don't they?
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can kind of take out of those roles and say, oh, actually, no, that little bit of that job, I kind of apply to what I do here. Is there a kind of a particular thing out of those jobs that you had that really stands out as like kind of crafting you into the photographer and the businesswoman that you are?
It's a really tricky one. I think presenting, that really taught me a lot. That was really quite scary, like presenting on live television. Like that is, there's no room for error, and you do make errors, and how competitive it is and how savage it is, and you constantly question yourself, and imposter syndrome was very, very present with that, even though I didn't know that's what that was back then. That taught me a lot, I think, and how to talk to people in kind of large groups, how to be confident. I think that did a bit massively.
I think it's the having somebody in your ear that would throw me off. Like, hold on a second. No. Yeah. Oh, you want me to say that? Yeah, okay. Hold on, guys.
Bye. And you don't then talk back until you do it. I'll never forget the first time I had it in my ear, and they're like, Rebecca, and I was like, yes. They're like, they can't hear us.
Yeah.
Don't talk to us.
It is a skill. Yeah. It is a skill. So
I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
I really did.
Was there ever a wedding that you sort of like shot and you sort of felt like, this is it, I'm not changing? Or sort of like a wedding that even made you feel like, I'm going to go at this at 100% because I absolutely love this?
First wedding.
Yeah. That first wedding, literally from the get-go.
It is addictive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, massively.
When you take a banging shot, you're like, oh, I nailed that. Or like, they're going to love that. It's addictive. Yeah. First wedding.
I was listening to a podcast that you on the other day, and hearing you talk about being a guest at a wedding and seeing another photographer working, and just kind of like probably not really being that passionate about what they were doing. And I remember it made me think of exactly the same thing. I went to my cousin's wedding and just watching a photographer like mope about, not really, just doing his job, but not really being that involved. And just me, I did the same thing as you. I watched him and went,
this and that. And that's what I was like. You said, like, I would watch wedding photographers at weddings. I'd be like,
yeah.
And I'd be like, that's a moment. And then now that I get to do that, I'm like, and then you're on it. But it's addictive, and that first wedding, it all just made sense.
Yeah,
definitely. And I take such joy and pride in what I do, as in I give everything.
Well, it shows. It comes across in your work, and
thanks, guys.
I don't think you get to the stage.
Doug and Igor,
You don't get to the stage. No one gets to the stage of business that you're at without working hard and being passionate about it.
Yeah.
We touched on luck earlier, right? It just doesn't exist. You might create a few little fortunate opportunities along the way, but you still have to go and execute it, and still have to deliver and be passionate about it, don't you?
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
It's 20 minutes.
It's 20 minutes, yeah. We've probably got another question before we jump in.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to let people know, the cameras have got half. We have to give like a 25-minute cut-off point, don't we? But we can go with one more question. Is there anything you want to go with, Igor, before we
I want to start on John.
I love it. John's going to love this.
Straight in, within 20 minutes.
He's going to love this. He's going to love
this. That's it. Talk to us about John. How did you guys meet, first of all?
The love of my life. My soulmate, honestly. I love this guy madly. I've been with him 13, 14 years.
Wow.
I should know this. We met in the toy department of Paris.
Of course.
Brilliant.
I mean, why? I guess it's one of those things, like, I was a personal shopper for toys.
Yeah.
My specialist knowledge is in children's toys, and then it's just what I kind of ended up doing job wise. And my first day of working there, I was selling nail art pens. And I was doing my nails, and something told me to look up. And I looked up, and he walked past me, and he said, "Hi, new girl." And I was like, "Hey!" And it was love at first sight. Yeah. And I was like, "He's gorgeous." He had this magical smile, and I just thought there was something about him. And yeah, we kind of, cut a long story short, it was a staff night out. We played
classic.
This is the real story.
Yeah.
We played Spin the Bottle.
This isn't a children's episode.
This is not a children's episode. We played Spin the Bottle. I kissed everybody, not him, and I was like, "Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. Like, seriously?" And then it landed on John, and we kissed, and we looked at each other, and the game ended. It was the weirdest thing. We held hands. Like, who does that?
Off to the store cupboard.
Like, it was, honestly, we held hands, and it was like we'd previously known each other in another life, and we moved in together a week later.
A week later? Yeah. Amazing.
And we just...
John does not hang around, does he? I
love it. It was completely different. There was no games. There was none of this whole, like, playing hard to get. He was like, "I'm crazy about you. I want you to be my girlfriend. I'm not interested in anybody else." And yeah, fell in love hard and fast, and he is just amazing. He's such a good balance for me, because I'm like manic and like move at 100 miles per hour, and he's like, "It's fine." Like, he keeps me very, very balanced, and
now it's part of your business.
Yeah, so John does.
In fact, you said earlier you can't even get into work in your business at the minute.
I shot myself in the foot. My husband does all my writing and my blogs and copy, and then I declared that on Instagram, and then now I'm in the queue after away. But he's amazing.
He's in demand.
He's so brilliant at what he does, and he's just incredible. Amazing soul. Love him. My best friend, makes you laugh every single day, and that's so important because we've been through so much together over the years. And yeah, that's my hubby, John.
I've got something exciting to tell you. And no, it's not that I've watched Interstellar. I watched Interstellar.
Yes,
I've got something better than that.
What have you bought me?
I've not bought you anything. I'm sorry. This is going to be disappointing already, isn't it? We've got our first sponsor.
Whoa!
First sponsor.
No way.
Yeah way.
No way.
Yeah way.
Okay, tell me more.
Studio Ninja.
Woohoo!
They're on board.
Boom.
They like the pod. They like what we're doing.
Yep.
And they've reached out to say, can we do something? So
it's amazing. We were talking about Studio Ninja the other day, weren't we?
Yeah, a few days ago. I said we talked about Studio Ninja.
How did that conversation go?
It went along the lines of, "Hey Igor, do you use Studio Ninja?"
And I said, "No." And in fact, the question was, "So how do you manage your clients?" And I said, "I just add them to my Apple Calendar."
I'm like, "Who is this guy? Like, what are you doing?" Like, we talk about this all the time, about running an efficient business, and when you are manually doing anything in your business, and this is like me telling you about why I love and live by Studio Ninja as a product and a service. Like, I don't have to do any of that. It's all automated. Yeah. You know, so when an inquiry comes in, it's already in my calendar. Yeah. Automatically in my calendar. I've already got their email response going out. Yeah. I haven't got to pre-format any emails. You know, if they book me, it sends an invoice. It chases the invoice. It sends out a contract. It's literally all under one portal.
All one hub. Yeah.
And you're not utilising any of that. You are an absolute fool.
I did feel a bit like, maybe I'm missing something out here when you asked me, so how do you invoice your clients? I just go and do it. But do you do it manually then? And,
no.
And I'm like, yeah, but you do it automatically.
No, it does it automatically, yeah.
Which is amazing.
So even like 6 weeks out from the wedding, it will automatically trigger my final invoice due email.
Yeah.
It's got their invoice
and you've got reminders as well.
It's got reminders, but it will automatically send. I won't have to go into the system. It automatically sends it on a date triggered by the system 6 weeks before the wedding. Here's your invoice. Here's a link to the questionnaire that Sam needs. So fill it out and let's sort out a Zoom call.
I think I need to have a sit down.
That's barely scratching the surface.
Yeah.
So we need to sit down together, me and you, and set you up with Studio Ninja.
Yeah, because it sounds amazing.
You get a month free when you sign up anyway, but they've very kindly given us a code for anybody listening and watching this for 6 months free.
Boom.
On your first year of subscription.
No brainer.
So if you just type in another idea, that'll get you 6 months free.
I'm joining, clearly. So
you definitely are. Amazing. So thank you very much to Studio Ninja for getting on board.
Boom, boom, pow. Let's get effective. We love John. He's amazing.
I love that you love
John. he needed to have a mention, definitely. And in some ways, the reason why I bring him up as well is I'm curious to hear how you guys work together as a team. Do you both work from home?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. How do you find the dynamics in terms of like actually trying to get work done? Because obviously you got Winnie as well. And better said, what does a week look like for you guys?
So I think now we've got it figured out. So last year was a bit higgledy-piggledy because last year was the worst year ever. So last year was a bit different, but now it works out that, so Mondays she goes to nursery one day, Tuesdays John will have her by himself, and then Wednesday, Thursday grandparents, Fridays I have her by myself, and then we have 2 family days. So it works out we only work 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And I think that's so far been the best balance for making sure we spend time with Winnie, each other, and getting work done. So that is our setup.
That's hard, isn't it?
It is.
It's like
and even still 4 days,
so
I'm still like working in the evenings, and that I need to stop.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we're doing.
I think we kind of all go through spells where that just
definitely.
I went for a few years ago and I'm not going to work in the evenings anymore. Now I'm coming back here and doing 2 nights in the week where I'm here till midnight because I'm like, I've got stuff I want to do.
Got stuff to do. You
kind of just have to accept it, don't you, suppose?
And that's kind of what works for us, but we're really kind of strict. So when we do have her, I don't go on my phone, I'm not doing emails, I'm not working, I'm like fully present.
Yeah.
And take her around, do activities. So we do like ballet and baby sensory, and all the classes, all the classes.
How old is Winnie?
So she's 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah, so it's a really fun age, really, really fun. But it works really, really well. We bounce ideas off each other. Like he is, full disclosure, he's not very good at social media. Like he's so pure of heart, so pure. So I'm like, come on, you need to do it. He's like, it's fine.
But I think that's good though, isn't it? In a relationship to have that balance, I think it's really healthy.
Because I'm obviously on my phone marketing and doing this and this, and he's just chilling and being like,
whatever, hun.
Oh, whatever.
We haven't talked about our love of Huns.
No, we haven't.
My Huns.
Our appreciation for Love of Huns.
Love of Huns, probably one of the greatest Instagram accounts that's out there.
Account. I love how you two follow it.
Yeah.
Big fans.
Yeah.
Big fans.
Gemma Collins for Revs.
No, GC, that's my goal, is to photograph her.
No way.
It's on my list of goals.
Manifesting that right now.
I'm going to manifest it. GC, hun.
So if everybody could just tag this episode and Gemma Collins.
Gemma Collins,
we'll clip that up for you.
I love her. Absolutely love her. Haven't listened to her podcast in a while, but I love me some GC.
Yeah.
Good energy.
That account is just something else, really. It's so entertaining. And speaking of that, really, TikTok Tuesdays.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Breastfeeding. That is, so you have Winnie to thank for TikTok Tuesday. That is the absolute
I'll
truth.
get to like sort of Tuesday afternoon. I'm like, she's not done a TikTok Tuesday yet.
Yeah, I actually feel a bit itchy. I know it's coming.
I can't stop them now because people rely on it.
You really
I was sat on the sofa with Gemma the other night. We were watching Love Island, and you posted one about a little boy going down a slide and he's banging his head around. And I'm sat there creasing myself, and Jim's like, "What's up? What are you laughing at?" And I was like, "Showed her," and then she's creasing herself. I'm like, "This is what she does, TikTok Tuesday."
I'm so glad you guys enjoy it. I love how that
brings a lot of value to people's lives.
I love it. I was just breastfeeding constantly and was just watching TikToks, and I was like, "These are really good." I feel like I need to share these with people, and because I think with social media, it can be a really tricky place. I think you usually see the same sort of thing. You just see obviously your industry because of your algorithm. You just see. And stories wise, I think at that sort of time it was quite negative online. It was just COVID. I was like, oh, I'm so sick of this. And what I love about TikTok is it's a completely different platform.
It really is.
And I personally have made the decision not to use it for business purposes, even though I know marketing wise it is probably the best platform. And people said to me, oh, like, are you going to do more TikTok? And I've actually made the decision not to because I love how that's my like release app. Like I watch it and go on it for fun and for escapism.
Yeah. Not for work.
Not for work. When I know I probably could do really well on it, but right now I love how the algorithm is dogs and strippers and like food and pasta and travel, and I love it like that.
And the moment you start posting educational tips, it's going to change. It's going to
change, and so I started posting it and sharing it with people. And
I love
now
that you've made that business decision to turn stuff away.
Yeah,
it could be good for you to go now. Actually, for my own sanity and like enjoyment of engaging with social media, I want that.
Yeah, because there's so many. I've got YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram. That's a lot to keep up. And I feel like I'll admit I did some TikToks in lockdown for like lols. I would lip sync to stuff because it was fun to do. Did some pointing to text, no shade. I definitely did that. But for business wise, I've decided to not. I just quite like going on it for fun. Yeah. So I started sharing it with people, my favorite videos. But now it's the point when I don't share one because I'm at a wedding. People are like, "Hey, like, where's TikTok Tuesday?" I'm like, "I'm in another country. Like, I haven't had good time to watch any." But their followers are like, "China, like, we need this. We don't have TikTok. Don't stop doing this. We need it."
It's true. I guess because
So it just goes to show, though, doesn't it? How you don't have to take everything that you post to your business account so seriously.
No, it doesn't
have to be like a highly polished bit of content that you've spent hours. You can just go, "This is funny, I'm posting it." Yeah. End of.
Exactly. And you'd be amazed how many people you actually connect with, because if their humour's the same, I think now when I meet clients, they're like, "Oh, TikTok Tuesday," and clients mention it, which I love.
People walking down the street go, "Hey, it's Rebecca, that TikTok Tuesday girl."
But I love when it's the parents, like the mother of the bride, even say, "Oh, we really love that one you posted of that dog."
But it's just the perfect example on how you can sort of like recycle content and use it in a way that you are connecting with your clients. You are connecting with, as you said, mother of the brides and everything else. And this is content created by someone else. Do you know what I mean? It just shows the power that you can, just a different way of really engaging with your audience.
Completely different. And I think about what content I like to consume on the internet, and I want people to kind of leave my account feeling happy or inspired or in a good mood. I'd hate them to walk away being like, "Oh," like I wouldn't want that. And I think it is nice to share a little joy into the world. So that's kind of...
It certainly brings that.
I'm so glad.
Definitely. Always a highlight. But where do you find... I'm curious with this one, especially whilst we're talking about TikTok and social media in general, but you
how the audio quality sounds on yours, on your mic compared to mine. I wonder if people listening will go, "Oh, Sam's talk. He's not on the good mic." I'll have that for the other episode.
Yes, you will.
So I'm totally over it.
Clearly, we can clearly
over it.
But yeah,
I'm never going to let you forget that. 4.5 years time. Do you remember that time you forgot your microphone, Igor?
And this will never happen again.
It better not. Better not. He's out. I'll be after a new host.
You'll never find another host like me, Sam.
Come on, you're Anton Deck. You can't.
Nah.
Robin Josh.
You'll never find another Eagle. But yeah, going back to you, RC. In terms of the couples or clients that you tend to get, where do you think most of them tend to come from? Is it social media? Is it sort of like Google? Just curious.
Instagram is definitely the top. Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, and wedding planners.
Pinterest. You mentioned it beforehand, and I actually brought my notes up so I can actually just ask that.
Yeah.
How do you find Pinterest working for your business?
With wedding photographers, it makes sense. Everyone seems to forget that Pinterest is Google for images. You know, the biggest search engines of the internet are YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram, and Google. And the odds are, as a photographer, your picture's already on there. And it's probably somebody else who's taken the time to pin them. Yeah. And they're reaping the benefits when actually you've got all these images. And I think we make the mistake of posting that one banging image on Instagram and be like, done. Like, let's repin those kind of likes, when the lifespan of a pin goes on and on and on. And you've got to think as well, the types of clients you have. My types of clients are making boards, are pinning, looking for inspiration. Yeah. And if you've got these images, you've taken all those pictures from a styled shoot or a wedding gallery, you can put them all on there.
Do you find that those clients are sort of like a bit more discerning than some other ones in terms of style, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know, because
everybody pins there, don't they?
Yeah, it's a really tricky
I think I
one.
understand what you're asking, but I think most weddings have got some kind of mood board.
You have an aesthetic. But yeah, so quite a few find me via Pinterest, and then they go through to my Instagram and website, and they're like, oh, okay, and then they kind of get to know me a bit more, because I'm really crystal clear of what I'm like as a person. I think through my social media, how my message, my website, and I don't shy away from that anymore. But yeah, Pinterest is a really
I think Pinterest is like, for a lot of photographers, it's so untapped.
And American photographers are on it. So I always say to people, my best advice
Americans are always 5 years ahead of us, though, aren't they?
Look to American photographers and people in business, because they're ahead of us by 3-4 years. Trends always come out there first, and then work their way to here, like pampas grass. They were ahead of that for years, and then England are like, oh, pampas grass, dried flowers, and like, Americans are like, we know. So Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, wedding planners, and referrals.
I think it's having the time. I think that if I'm playing devil's advocate slightly, I think for photographers, it's having the time to post that content, isn't it?
Definitely.
I think that's often where we fall short. And I think for me, actually it's about kind of, if you can get into the routine of going, right, I've got a selection of 30 strong images from a wedding, I'm going to blog it. I'm going to post those same images over multiple posts to Instagram. I'm going to pin them all at the same time. It's like, once you've done those images and you've got that blog post out, it's just about slicing it up and getting it out across multiple channels, isn't it?
And that's the thing, like, people need to remember content doesn't live on Instagram, it lives on Google. And especially blogs. How often do you get inquiries from blogs you've written ages ago? And you're like, really, that blog?
Even blogs that I've shared images with, still people find it.
So blogging is definitely the way forward. I always say people make the time to do that. So yes, do the Instagram thing, do that, but it is a quick hit. And then once it's out there, you get a couple of hours of glory and that's it. But you need to make that content last even longer. So take time, put time aside. Get Tailwind, that's an app for just scheduling it all. It will tell you what times to post, copy and paste and do the descriptions, that, take the time to do it.
And again, this all loops back to like, those people that go, oh, how do you get work? How, like, I'm not very busy, I'm struggling for bookings. Like, are you doing all these things?
Are you doing it?
If you're not doing it, like, don't complain that you're not busy, because
you've got to spread your marketing out. Don't place all your eggs in Instagram. And I think I love Instagram, don't get me wrong, and I spend most of my time there, but I do make sure that I'm putting content on Google, on Pinterest, on YouTube, and all these other platforms to make sure if I was to lose all my followers overnight, which does happen, people get hacked.
Of course it's,
Are your audience somewhere else so you can bring them across?
We talked about that with Sophie, didn't we? About Instagram going down and everybody hitting the panic stations. It's not, what do you do? But it's not even just about spreading your eggs. It's about kind of like that consistent approach. And what you do really well is that it's just constant drip feeding. you know, you do that, you don't go on a burst for like a week and a half, and then you don't see Rebecca Carpenter for the next 6 months, do you? She's gone into hiding again.
Like, she's definitely had her baby. Yeah. She's not posted anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny as well. Sometimes I just love your transparency on Instagram. And some time ago that you asked your audience not to actually ask you how you were doing, because you knew that, okay, I'm fine, I know I've disappeared, but I'm fine, it's okay. It's just the fact that they actually care and they actually notice that sort of little thing, if you're actually being really intentional about not being online. So no, that's great, absolutely brilliant.
Thanks,
I think that's what people are really drawn to, though, isn't it? It's like honesty and you know, just that open approach to life and to business, and just being really transparent. But yeah, setting boundaries I think is massive. I think we both kind of really respect you for being able to kind of go, no, actually, please don't. You know, just to be able to set that.
Yeah, set your boundaries.
It's great. Can I just ask, where do destinations feature in your work? And how do you? I suppose I kind of wanted to ask it when we were talking about work-life balance at home and with Winnie and John. Yeah, how does that affect your week, and you know, how are you looking going forward in terms of taking on destination work?
So I think this year has been the most destination I've had. I think it's obviously all the backlog because I couldn't travel last year. So it's all happening this year. And it's a really tricky one. I was saying this to John, it's really bittersweet because I feel like this has been the best year of weddings I've ever had. I'm shooting what I've been working towards and doing all the styled shoots and workshops for, and they're happening. And I love it, and it's glorious. I'm having the time of my life, but then I don't see my baby. And that's the reality. And well, you know, that you did your destination episode. Destination weddings, it's brutal. Yeah. They are exhausting, and especially this month, I'm going to be honest, they're a financial drain at the moment because of flights.
Yeah.
I'm fighting EasyJet for £800. I'm arguing for them to give that money back because they're refusing, because they're saying, there were flights 24 hours later. I'm like, yeah, but I needed to fly back that day. They're amazing, and I love it. And I definitely feel like it was always the goal to do more destinations because I love travel, and I definitely want to do more. But I think it's been a wake-up call, definitely doing less going forward and charging even more.
That's it.
But you learn these things and you have to just go through
only
them.
By doing it.
But I love destination weddings. I feel like it really pushes me creatively on the spot. I love going from location to location to location. But juggling that with a baby, it is tough. Yeah. And the guilt, as in when I get to the airport, she knows it's the airport and she starts being hysterical and it's heartbreaking. Then I'm obviously going on the plane crying, but then when you come back to arrivals, that's amazing. And
I mean, it's hard for us as dads, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you know, I know we shouldn't kind of say it's harder for one or the other, but I think for a mum it is. It's another layer of.
There's been lots of conversations. Difficulty. I think being a woman as well, it's very different because people are like, you know, when you have your baby, you won't want to travel anymore, and I do. I do want to travel more. I'm still me. Yes, I'm mummy and do my mummy things, but I haven't worked this hard all this time to give it up, and I think.
You're still Rebecca, you're still an artist, you still want to create and push your work forward.
It's a really tricky one because for women, you do get the mum guilt, you get the mum shaming, and I did get that last year online, and I had to call it out. Someone was like, I'm worried about you, you're doing too much. And I was like, hold on a second. And I actually talked about it online and said, you know, she is with my husband, this is my job. I can't turn around and say to my couple, I'm not going to shoot your wedding because that's not an option. No. So I have to constantly kind of say no, like you can do both. You can be a parent and do a job you love, and balance doesn't really exist, let's be honest. People say, how do you balance? It doesn't exist. No. People say, how do you do it? Like, the truth is, sometimes the one area of your life will be going well and spectacular, and the other part you'll miss out and fail, or you might miss out on something. And that is the balance, is accepting the highs and the lows. When you might be shooting this incredible wedding and you might miss out on something special. But then this year and last year, I did make, after how tough last year was, I was like, that's it, next year I'm not doing as many as this. I'm going to be really, really brutal, really selective, and what was amazing is I haven't missed key moments. So I have been around for when she started crawling. I was there for when she started walking. I was there when she had her first words. So, and it's really tough. Like, this job is all consuming. It really, really is. But so is being a parent.
Yeah, of course it is. And you've kind of queued up and answered my next question before I even got a chance to ask it.
I know where you're going.
But I want to talk about female double standards.
Yeah.
And before
double
everybody
standards.
kind of gets a stick and starts beating me with it, right? I get so frustrated when I saw your post about that. I got so frustrated because I think we live in an age now where, on the whole, women are championing women more than they ever have done.
Yeah.
And men championing women as well more than they ever have
definitely.
done. And it's absolutely what should be happening. So to see some other women then pulling you down because you've been championed and you're successful and you're doing well, it just drives me mad.
Yeah, it still happens now. People are like, oh, where are you going to now? Or haven't you just done this? And I'm like, this is my job.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a strange one with social media. You do kind of open yourself up to criticism. And
how do you deal with it? Do you find yourself having a thick skin, or
do you ignore it? Do you respond?
Truthfully, it depends how hormonal I am. If I'm premenstrual, I'll go in. And then I'm such a Gemini. And then other times I'm like, Rebecca, let it go, rise above it, ignore it. And then sometimes I'm like,
when's your birthday?
May 24th.
Oh, close, 22nd.
Oh, so you're a Gemini.
Yeah.
So you're a Gemini. So you're the cusp of a Taurus.
Yeah.
The 25th.
Whoa.
That's why we get along. That's why we're like very similar. Sorry, you asked me. Yes.
Yes.
So sometimes I will call it out and say, hey, this is not cool. And sometimes I will just let it go. But I think it is important to speak up for yourself. And I will stand up for myself, because women, it is double standards. You probably don't get asked as very often, how do you balance fatherhood? You don't.
No,
you don't
it
really,
doesn't.
do you? Let's be honest.
It's awful, really.
And I always say to people, are you asking that of your male colleagues? Are you asking and for women, you do get the mum shaming. It's very real. And it's a really tricky one, because sometimes I'm very careful how much I share of parenthood, because I love my baby, and my other account is purely just my baby. But when you do start sharing that, people have opinions, and mum followers are very different followers, and I've learned that they all do things their way, and not all kids are the same though.
Yeah.
So it's a really tricky one, and nowadays I think I have to bite my tongue sometimes. But if I'm really hormonal, then I just go off. Well, that's the truth.
I think you're obviously very aware of what you're doing, and you obviously you know that what you're doing is, you've been really successful with it, but you're obviously being aware of your duties that sounded really hold on one second, let me just rephrase that. You obviously have commitments at home that that you want to be at. You want to be at those events, and
definitely.
I just think keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Sam.
Right, you've got my approval. Good on you, mate. Good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you are like a parent listening to this and thinking, just keep doing what you're doing. You've just got to do what's right for your family.
Yeah,
of course you have, yeah.
And what works for you. And there'll be times when you are exhausted, you are questioning things, and you are burnt out. But then when that happens, you need to kind of reflect and think, okay, what can I do to change this? Do I need to charge more? Do I need to work less? Do I need to outsource? And I think outsourcing is the best thing you can do. So as soon as you can afford that, outsource as much as possible. And that's what I learned last year. So I got a VA and another VA, and I outsourced writing, I outsourced this, and that has definitely helped. And automate loads of things is what I'd say, and that definitely makes things easier.
They're going to come for me, aren't they, with that comment?
Don't come for Sam, he didn't mean it.
No, I know what I meant.
No,
my words just came out a bit wrong.
I think it's really important to have this conversation.
Of course it is.
And you're going to trip up wherever.
I said to you yesterday, I'm a bit scared about asking it, but I kind of want to. I wanted to talk about it, because I do. I find it incredibly frustrating that you have to, like, we talked in the car on the way over here about like just the mansplaining thing that you get on YouTube.
Oh,
and I'm
get it.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Honestly,
like, why can't they just leave? Like, leave that comment alone and just get on with your life and just enjoy what you're doing. This
is the thing. Like, Sam and I were chatting, just for context, about YouTube and being a female photography YouTuber. Oh my gosh!
Well, you said to me some of the things that you get. Like, I'm not going to have those problems when I launch.
You
YouTube,
really
it won't happen.
because men, again, people might come up for me this. they are very technical. And there's rules for things, and I'm very much like, the rules, let's shoot this, I'm feeling this, and people are like, what are you doing? And that's awful, that's yellow, and then the mansplaining comes in, and the critiques.
Do you know how to use a camera?
And yeah.
That was a joke, by the way. just joking.
But it is really, really tough, and like being a woman in kind of that kind of world, you do just open yourself up, like it's open for it. It is tough, but it's definitely made me very resilient, very kind of, so nowadays I don't take it to heart so much, because I'm just like, okay, that's fine, that's your opinion, that's cool.
And what I think it's amazing as well is that you really are being an example to other sort of creatives out there to do it and push forwards, and showing that things can be done, and they can be done my way. And yeah, just keep riding your wave.
Thanks.
It must have been
just keep
fun.
riding your wave.
Yeah, hugely inspiring. So just to wrap up the talk about destination weddings, or just to go back to that for a moment, one thing that Igor mentioned on the episode of the week that you should go and listen to if you haven't listened to it. I know you have, but I'm just telling the audience if they haven't listened to it, they should go and listen to it.
It's really good. Listen to it.
It's a great episode. But one thing that Igor said that really stood out for me was like just the idea that like you squeeze that lemon, and I think that's one thing that you do particularly well when you go abroad and you shoot those destinations, is that you don't just go there and just shoot the wedding and then see you later, I'm off home. Like, it is make the most of that moment. You are milking it until it's nothing left. Yeah, really. Like, across the board, photos,
really,
Insta, reels, stories.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think that's definitely the trick to destination, is you want to maximize the opportunity to the max. So for me, I will do an engagement shoot, a pre-wed shoot. I will go sightsee, get shots for blog roll. I'll get bio shots, I'll get reels. So then you are technically an expert of that destination. So if you do get another inquiry, you can say, yes, I could also recommend this and this and this, because they're definitely going to choose that over somebody who might not have gone there before. Yeah. And also with destination, there's so much to shoot. And there's always a reason why the couple have chosen the destination. And sometimes you might be in, like, you know, in a venue that's in the middle of nowhere, and that's it. So I think it's always great to take the couple and do additional photographs the day before because of weather. So you at least have that kind of safety net of like some decent shots if it rains. Because this year for me, it's been 50-50 with destination with weather. That's the truth. I've had storms, I've had rain, but we've done the pre-wed shoot that is sunny. So I have that, so they're not completely disheartened.
It's not even just with destination weddings, is it, either? It's just about seeing, I think it's almost about just seeing opportunity. I mean, you told us about speaking at Thrive in, when was that, what time of the year? Where, I don't know, I've just lost track of all time when I was saying it. But when you spoke at Thrive recently, and how you met Taylor Jackson and just went, should we go and take some photos tomorrow?
Oh, way up north,
Way up north, sorry, in Rome, Sorry to get them mixed up, they might be fun, but it's fine. But yeah, just to be able to kind of go, do you guys want to take some photos in the morning? And
if you don't,
you were there as a speaker. You could have just gone, I'm just here to speak. I'm just going to do my job, and then
squeeze it all out. Literally every single drop.
And that's the thing. I'm very much with people. If I see someone I'm interested in, or think, I'd love to, I will ask them. As in, I've scouted people in the gym. As in, model couples on Instagram. We use styled shoots. I have scouted people in the street and in the gym. There was a girl at the gym, Dion. Shout out to Dion. And I was like, she is beautiful. And I was like staring at her. and as a girl, it's okay.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
So this is the good thing about being a female. I was like, hi, you're beautiful. I think you're absolutely stunning. I was like, look, I'm not a psycho. I'm a photographer. Like,
I'm just putting it out there. I'm not a psycho.
Not a psycho.
But a psycho would say that though, wouldn't they?
And I said, I'd love to photograph you. Please just DM me. Follow me on Instagram and DM me when you get home. She DMs me that night and I was like, do you have a partner? And then a week later she was modelling for a styled shoot. So
and I bet he was a total babe as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, they're now doing it. That's what they do now. They get paid to do this. And I always say to photographers, we have such a gift. As in, we can have marketing instantly. As in, it's very different for other people in self-employment. They have to wait for professional images. If you're a cake maker, a florist, a wedding planner, you have to wait for those images. But as photographers, we're so powerful. Yeah. If you think, I really want to, you can go out and shoot that. If you are on holiday, bring your camera, shoot, ask people in the street. As in, I am very much make your own luck. Yeah. And just make it happen.
It all ties into like activity breeds activity.
Definitely.
Simple as that.
Success leaves clues. And I always say to people, if that worked, do it again. And then do it again. And again, and again, and again. And It works.
It ain't rocket science, is it?
No, that's it. You kind of touch upon it a little bit, but in my mind, especially in the past, I'll probably say 3, if not 4 years, you've been, in my mind, very much as someone that's propelled style shoots to the amazing thing that it is today. Like
to another level.
You really pushed it, and you really
that means a lot.
shown everybody that you can create content for your own work, or create content that very much makes your heart sing and makes couples really attracted to you and your work. But how did you sort of like start it, and how has that journey been for you, basically, in terms of doing style shoots?
They are, without a doubt, probably the best thing I've ever done for my business. And some people love them, some people hate them. Some people are like, it's misleading, it's not a wedding. That's cool, that's how you feel, cool. But they're working for me. Yep. And for me, I always knew, even from day dot, that as long as you've got content, you have a business. And you need content for your business, and that's all you need. And even in the very beginning, I had no weddings, so I needed to show people what I could do. So I got my friend to wear a wedding dress in a field. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, this is a thing. But back 5 years ago, there wasn't really portfolio builders like there is now. So I remember reaching out to a wedding planner and said, look, this is what I envision. And I did my first styled shoot and I loved it. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Because I wasn't shooting those kinds of weddings.
Did you have other photographers there, or was it just you?
Just me.
Just creating content for your own
I
work.
did it by myself for the first couple of years before I started opening
Activity breeds activity, though.
Yeah, to workshops. And then I was like, right, I want a wedding in Santorini. That was always the goal. I was obsessed. I was like seeing on Pinterest. I was like, want it. I was using like the classic thing, like hashtag Santorini wedding photographer, but showing
Give
a
me
wedding.
all the whites.
We all do that. Like, you know, we like hashtag Italy photographer with a picture that isn't Italy. And nothing was happening. I wasn't getting those inquiries. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to book a flight and go to Santorini.
Love it.
Reached out to Valentina and said, hey, I'll pay for your flights, accommodation, your expenses. I want to do the shoot. Are you in? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. So, and again, I didn't have money to pay for models, so I managed to convince somebody who I used to do princess parties with to model for me.
Amazing.
Her and a partner flew out and we shot it, and I rinsed that shoot, like rinsed it. We had like 3-4 outfit changes, and it was on Junebug, and it was a game changer. And I then got hooked, and I was like, right, if I can do that, what else can I do? And then I did like Paris, Venice, Barcelona, and then I was like hooked because.
And John's like, Rebecca.
Yeah. But he never questioned me. And back then I would just throw money at it, and you have got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You really do. And if you want if you have a particular wedding that you're after and you're not getting those inquiries, you have to go out and show people that you can do that. So for me, I wanted destination luxe weddings, but I wasn't getting those inquiries. So I had to show people that I could shoot that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll open it up to other people and then have workshops that sell out. And
can we all do one in Marrakesh?
Shall we? You're inviting me in on your Marrakesh dream.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm moving Igor out because of the microphone incident, and I'm after a new partner. I'm after a new partner.
But yeah,
I just love it. I just love hearing that you just that approach of, I'm just going to go and do it. I'm going to go and make it. I'm going to go and just go for it.
And I spent thousands, and full disclosure, I spent thousands of pounds that year.
I can imagine.
Like thousands. And then because my images looked that way, I was like, well, I need a new website because that doesn't fit.
Reflect.
Yeah. So I poured thousands of pounds into my portfolio, and that's the absolute truth. But if you're not going to invest in yourself, how can a couple? Yeah. They're going to part with thousands.
Has it paid off?
Yes, without
there
doubt.
You go.
Without
right,
a doubt. And it's the best return on investment. People say, what would you spend money on? What would you do differently? And I wouldn't do a thing differently. What I would say is just keep shooting. Just shoot. And back in the very beginning, I was shooting at the weekends, in the evenings, any golden hour, I was out shooting.
I always think people need to be reminded that businesses don't just get up and running without time commitment and a cost commitment.
Yeah.
Like they don't. And actually, the bigger the time and the bigger the cost, you would hope and like to think that the bigger the reward and the bigger the outcome.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't cost you anything to start and it doesn't cost you anything time-wise to start, the chances are every Tom, Dick and Harry can go and do it.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, if it was easy everyone will be doing it.
Of course
And
they would.
the wedding industry for photographers is saturated, but with mediocrity, like, you want to stand out, you want to be different. So, you know, try and make yourself stand out. That's what I say to people, and put yourself out there. What sets you apart from that person down the road who might have identical work to you?
Yeah.
What are you doing differently? So for me, I will push it and see how far I can push it. And with trends, especially, because England, I was like, come on, I just need to show that this is what you could, and it works. And this year I've shot weddings, and there's been some moments when I'm like, oh, that's very similar to what I did on this shoot. Or there's been lots of those moments when they've actually been parallel. Or I've had couples say, we saw you do a shoot on a boat, we've hired a boat, we want that. And it does work. So when people say to me, is it worth it? Absolutely.
I can remember something you said on one of your stories recently, sometime this year, was about how the bride had said, this is why we've booked her. Can you remember that? Do you want to just elaborate on where that, you're like going, no, I never said this.
I can't remember.
But I think it was a bride who said, no, just stop it. This is why we've booked her. Or she said to a girl, like, this is why we've booked Rebecca.
Oh yeah.
Now you've
bridesmaids. As in, so I am very respectful with. There are some couples who don't want tons of stories, but pretty much most of my couples nowadays are like, we want this. This is what we've booked you for. We've seen what you can do. We've seen, as in, it's very much. I think Hannah said it recently. You don't go to the wedding, be the wedding, and that's really stuck with me. Hannah said that, camera Hannah, and. You definitely get what you put out energy wise, and I will read it. I will read if they need to like slow it down and be more intimate and tender. I'll drop my voice and be more kind of relaxed. If I need to hype them up and get those killer shots, I will put that out there. But with stories are really powerful. I always say to people, don't underestimate the power of sharing that. So it's, you know, no mystery. So brides would say, yeah, this is what we booked her for. We're climbing up that hill. We're going up that mountain. We're going to do these bridesmaid shots because that's what we've booked you for. And it's amazing. And it's really lovely when you do kind of get those clients who get you. And
you get those clients who get you because you're consistent with what you put out there. And people buy into that brand and that energy, and that's what they want.
It wasn't always like that. I made the mistake of, like you said, like posting the pictures I thought I should be posting, being professional, I say professional, but what I thought a professional photographer would be like. And on the wedding day, I'd be like, right, let's go into this field for golden hour, and they're like, no. And I was like, we're not going to go into this long grass. Like, they're like, no, I don't want my dress dirty.
What is wrong with you?
And I'm just like, why have they booked me? What am I doing here? And it's so frustrating when nowadays couples pretty much never say no to me now.
They actually expect it.
They're like,
where are we going? What can we do?
And I always say to people, just trust me. Like, you might feel stupid, you know, it's going to be a bit crazy, it's going to be windy, but trust me. And so the element of trust is there, but it's a build up. So people see obviously the behind the scenes, but it takes a lot to get to that stage. That's months of voice notes, that's chatting to them, that's kind of, you know, building that relationship, that trust up. So on the wedding day, people say to me, have you met them beforehand? I go, no, I don't need to. We've been chatting for months via voice note. That's how I bond with my clients most of the time, really. But
from the outside, people are obviously seeing the behind the scenes stuff. They're seeing that you have that strong connection with your couples, and then they're going, oh, and then she's taking these photos. Oh, you know, why would you not want that? You know. So if you weren't showing that behind the scenes stuff, they'd see the nice photos, but you're just reinforcing, you're building that kind of that bond and that trust. And we talk about it all the time, like trust is just so underrated. Really is. From a supplier's point of view, like that's ultimately what people are paying for. Really, is that trust to be able to kind of turn up and deliver on a product time and time again, regardless of what the weather's like and what the wedding's like. You know, so. No, I think it's great. I always enjoy seeing these sort of stories and behind the scenes stuff. On top of the TikTok
I love
Tuesdays
seeing other people. As in, if I always try to put myself in client shoes and think, why would I pick that person over that person? What would it be? And very often it's a personality fit. Because I'm not for everybody, and it's, you know, for some people, they're just like, oh, they haven't picked me. I'm like, but they're not for you. That's not your couple. Let it go. And there'll be times you get inquiries. You're like, that's amazing inquiry, and then they don't pick you, and you do go, oh, but then think. It just gives the opportunity to somebody else to find you. They're not for you, and you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and you're not meant to be. And there is a wedding photographer for everybody out there. There really, really is.
There's plenty out there for everybody.
There's so many.
It really is. Really is.
So I would say stay true to who you really are. And it's taken me a while to be my most authentic self. That sounds really deep. But now I'm very happy of just showing who I really, really am. And it's definitely the strength of my business is me. And I always say to people, don't shy away from who you are. Embrace it. If you're an introvert, embrace that. If you're an extrovert, like whatever it is, show it and share it.
Come on. You touched on it a little bit, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say on this.
Oh.
But trends within the wedding industry, really. Is there anything that you sort of like seeing at the moment that you are excited about and you want to see more, or anything that it's not within our UK industry, let's say, but somewhere else like the US that you want to actually see happening here in the UK?
This is definitely the year of the champagne tower, isn't it?
Champagne tower.
Yeah, that I'm seeing, which I'm all here for. I love it. I'm loving the outfit change in the evening.
I'm going to repost a champagne tower.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
honestly, champagne towers right now are hot. Again, yeah, I'm loving that as a trend.
I've got one from France with a double core.
Yes.
I'm gonna post that back for them.
People lap that up. Lap it up. I do love the outfit changing. That
Yeah.
I love that so much, and people
Brings me joy.
Same.
Always brings me joy.
But it's more common now. A few years ago, they're like, is it a big extra? I'm like, no. And now they're like, so I have an outfit change.
Yeah.
I'm like, brilliant. Like,
Yeah.
love it. And I love, especially when it's contrasting.
Yeah.
Gives a bit more variety to the shots as well, doesn't
So you're like,
it?
let's go get more portraits. So I'm loving those two trends. I'm really, really,
Even
really
just
loving.
like for a groom as well to go, I'm just going to go, we'll go out in the evening, just take your jacket off and let's go and shirt, waistcoat.
So different.
Yeah.
Just
So
looks
different.
a bit more relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah. But the outfit changes, more of that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, loving that.
Boom. We chatted about it, but I said, okay, let's save the question. Okay. Netflix. What are we all watching?
yeah,
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
I was going to ask you, okay, what are you watching?
Love Island.
Are you rich?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. Yeah, I'm not even joking. It's a guilty pleasure.
I'm not.
And I get Gemma will start watching it, and I'm like, "Are you watching that again?" And I'm like, "I'm on the sofa going, did you just do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'm watching it."
Brilliant.
It's just one of the. It's the only guilty pleasure out there for me.
It's easy though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stick it on. You're like, oh.
I find it quite fascinating, really.
Me and Zion watch it together.
Absolutely
It's the only thing
fascinating.
we watch together, and yeah,
See,
Love
I'm
Island.
not watching it this year because I was away doing some weddings. I was too far behind, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've missed.
And then
Saturdday
Love of
Night
Huns post a meme on it, and I'm like, right, you've got me now. You've got me.
I'm too far behind.
But no, in terms of Netflix, I've started watching Stranger Things season 4, but the episodes are so long, aren't they?
See, I need
so
to.
good.
I need
It's only
to
two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to get on with that. And I want to watch Severance as well on Apple TV. I've not seen that yet.
So good.
But I think
I've
we
seen
talked about
Severance.
that the other week.
Yes.
Yes. That's on the list. What about you?
Oh, what have I finished watch? Is it The Secret? I finished watching that. The series, the BBC thing on Netflix. I finished
Is
watching
it sort of
that.
like quite rom-commy, Secret?
Is it called The Secret or The Effect? I don't know, something. I was watching that.
Yeah.
Oh, the one with what's the name? Sienna Miller.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
brilliant. Yeah,
Really
it's incredible.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I finished watching that, and then I
I
just
love Sienna Miller.
She's
She's
beautiful.
incredible.
Really, really
I
good.
don't know who Sienna Miller is.
Yes, you do.
She was in Alfie. She was in. I can't completely blank. What else?
Here we go.
I can't believe you're looking for her.
She went out with Jude Law and he cheated on her with the nanny. How could he? Oh.
Jesus.
So I've just finished watching that, but I need to rewatch the Stranger Things
Yes.
series 3 to refresh before
Yeah.
I start watching 4. But and then rewatching kind of Selling Sunset and although I'll be completely honest, me and John have started watching building a sex room on Netflix.
Oh my days.
Okay. Where's
Stay
this going?
stay with me. Okay, it's in.
Brace Sam.
Merla, come and get this on.
No,
Come and get this on
I'm not into. I was like, should I tell
Can we
him
get
that-
HR in again
Yeah.
just to kind of like monitor this conversation?
Like me and John watch it and we're like, but the woman who's like the designer's English and she's like the sweetest lady and she builds these like kink rooms for couples who are just like parents, couples, and it's just fascinating. There's a carpenter like putting up the hooks and like the little cross and stuff. Really interesting.
Whoa.
Okay.
Because I love marital. No, but I love interior design shows. Like, you know, Marriage or Mortgage.
Yes.
Loved that. Love is Blind. I love stuff like that. Trash TV where I can just. But I love Bling Empire as well. I finished that, and I love just easy programs. But the build a sex room.
How to build a sex room, right?
Like,
Putting that on the list.
it's an
then.
easy watch. It's.
What about you, Igor? Have you picked up anything recently? Top that.
It's
top that.
I'm not building a sex room, but let me think. Yeah, I'd recommend Severance to you. It's really good. I love anything sci-fi-ish, so all the Star Wars sort of like new movies, I'm there, and TV series. Let me think of something that are absolute. I guess Stranger Things. Stranger Things is the last one that I watched that was really, really good.
Did we talk about Dune on our episode of Inspiration Stuff? Did you watch Dune?
No, we didn't talk. We didn't talk about Dune.
We not?
We didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen Dune?
No.
Dune is this like sci-fi movie.
Okay.
It's really old, like really, really old. But
Is it?
yeah, yeah. And it used to be a TV series, and yeah.
What, the recent movie that came out? Dune.
Yeah. So this is a remake.
Oh, it's a remake. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. There we go. Right. That was the confusion. Okay.
But cinematically,
Okay.
it's
It's good. And
beautiful.
it's on Netflix.
Beautiful.
I watched it on. I think I watched it on Now TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
think
so I don't
Apple
have
TV.
Now
Yeah.
anymore. I unsubscribed.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
But
one of
yeah,
those.
Dune.
It's one of those. I watched it on my telly, and my tele's like 30 inch. I was like,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I'd love to see this in the cinema.
Do you ever watch TV sort of like from an analytical point of view and
Yeah, I've rewatched The Queen's Gambit recently again.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because I love the aesthetics. As
Yeah,
in,
it's great.
If you would say what your favourite movies, I would say Amelie, Popular, because I love the colours, I love the kind of nostalgia, and Queen's Gambit I've rewatched recently.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I love Queen's Gambit.
And just the cinematography, the colours, it's the composition, the costumes is just perfection. So yeah, I do watch a lot, and I look at it completely differently. I think as a photographer nowadays, like you think, oh, look at that, as in, yeah, I love that sort of thing, and that's what's definitely inspired lots of my work colour-wise. I wanted to look rich and deep, like those French movies that are fun and joyful though.
Yeah, as soon as you said Emily, the soundtrack just came to mind. It's great.
It's beautiful.
Really, really beautiful.
I love that film, and I rewatch it every year because I think it's such a lovely reflection on life and how we kind of don't see and take joy in the little details and the little moments. If you haven't seen it, see Amelie. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Popular I love as well. But
You've
not seen it?
No.
So it's
Popular.
about Populaire. So she's a typewriter, but
Okay.
a speed typewriter.
Okay.
French, but again the costumes, the lighting, like it's all just magical.
Ooh.
Really, really magical. Really recommend it.
Okay, I've never seen Amelie.
No.
I'm gonna.
You've never seen?
Yeah, is it a
Right.
good one for the kids?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we'll watch that.
It's beautiful.
Is
Really
it as good as
beautiful.
Elf?
Different.
Different. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking because you said about watching it every year. I'm like, yeah, I watch Elf every year.
Yeah, I watch every
Makes
year.
sense.
Yeah.
To just go on off a bit of a tangent, has anything in your business not worked? Have you failed, like within your current role as a wedding photographer? Has anything been a failure or anything
Something that you've learnt off from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I wouldn't do that again. 'Cause I think we both would agree that there's this kind of image coming from you that you've just gone for it and everything's been great and it's been really successful. But I think what we'd love to know is there anything that's been some sort of a learning curve that you're like, oh no, I made a bit of a clanger there.
It's a really tricky one. I've got to be really careful about like. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
I think I could say some people that might really work for them. It's a really tricky one. Like I don't do client meetups anymore. I think in the very beginning, everyone's like, let's do a meetup, and I always say to people now, you can do it via Zoom.
Yeah.
Or site venue visits. Who on Google? Okay, I'm putting this out there. Who
Here we go.
wrote
I've
that
really lit the
saying
fire up, haven't
questions, ask questions for your
Yeah.
photographer. Have you been to our venue before? Will you do a site visit? And I'm like, heck no. Like that.
Yeah, that needs
annoys
to
me.
just
That
needs
needs
to be
dialed up.
popped up.
And if you're
boxed
doing a
up.
site venue visit as a photographer, you don't need to. Just don't. And just say to your couple, no, it's not necessary. I get to the venue about 2 hours before and it's all dependent on light. That's it. Be assertive. That's it. That's your line.
I'll be honest. I did one literally last week.
Stop.
Yeah.
Why? Igor?
Literally last week.
Wait, was it with a wedding planner though?
It was.
That's acceptable. That's a bit different. That's a bit different. I would say if it's with a wedding planner, I think that's different because you might have impact on where things go.
Yeah.
There you go. So that I would say is a bit
literally by doing it, and I don't do it, self-admittedly, but by doing it, I knew the wedding in my head literally I knew exactly where this is going to happen, this is going to happen here, this is going to happen there, I'm going to do this here. And I was honest with the couple. I told them, we're going to do this here rather than there because of X, Y, Z. But yeah, as you said, it's not needed. It is not needed these days because
on the whole, there's always exceptions.
That's definitely the exception. I would say in that instance, yes, but if there's a planner, no, it's just not necessary. But what else hasn't really worked? I would say that wedding fairs. Oh, if you're willing to part with lots of money.
Here we go.
Yeah, I can't see you as a wedding fair kind of person.
Oh, like as in I did it because I personally would try any form of marketing once just to see what it's like, to say, yeah, I've tried it. And
nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah, and I always say to people, say, oh, what's it like? And I say to people, if you're an introvert, don't do them. That's probably the worst thing you could do because you have got to talk to people and go up to them and technically pitch to people.
Yeah.
And it's a really weird scenario because they're looking at your albums and you're like, like, have you got a photographer? And so I would say that, and I parted with lots of money when I did a big one, a national one. And did it pay off? Yes, it did. It worked, but on reflection, I probably didn't need to. But I did do it, so I tried it. So I'd say that. Oh, I would say those maybe.
Yeah, that's great.
That's fine.
It's been amazing to have you here. So much energy. I'm loving it. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Next week?
Yes. Thanks so much for having me.
In fact, we can't afford it every week, can we?
No, not first class.
First class on your way home as well.
So bougie. I feel so bougie.
Don't buy anything before you get on the train.
Won't
Remember
buy
that.
anything.
Give it.
But in terms of your business, you seem to always be moving forward, which is amazing. Anything that you got going on? Any sort of like future plans that you got going on that you can share with us?
Say I've got like goals and other things. So I'll start with the goals. I still have so many more things I want to shoot and places I want to go. And I probably would say this year is probably the year I've definitely focus more on the kind of craft of photography. I think before I look back at old work and I was like, Rebecca, that's not very intentional. What's that composition? What are those settings? And I'm not the best photographer in the world. Like hands up, I'm not technical. I'm self-taught from YouTube. I just used to watch videos and always kind of played my camera back in the day. So I think this year I'm really happy with my work this year, and it's probably been a long time, so I can be like, yeah, really proud. Obviously I've got a long way to go. So I think just getting even bigger and better and just really, really good at what I do. Shooting some other countries. I've still got so many things on my vision board I want to do.
Give us some sort of like bucket list countries
I really want to do Bali.
Same here.
Yeah,
Same here.
Bali. And that was where I honeymooned, and I just know that's going to be just Hawaii. I always look at your Hawaii wedding, Igor, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, Hawaii, Mexico.
Yeah.
So Mexico's been on my list for like years, so just probably going to do a workshop there. It's not going to happen for me. So, you know what? That's my mantra.
That's how it started for me.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's
what I say to people. If it doesn't come to you, just go out.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Can we have a holiday in Mexico?
We're going to go to Mexico.
Like, do you want a holiday or?
So that's the plan. Yeah, I would say those countries, and just, you know, working with some planners I've kind of had my heart set on for years. Kind of there's still loads of people like that, and just getting better. It would love to be amazing to go like on like the Junebug list one day, like the rangefinder. That's like the goal. To go in Vogue, that's like the goal, isn't it? So, and you know, these are all dreams that I'll just keep working towards. And then obviously just working a little bit less. I think I could definitely take it down a notch and do less. So I think that's professionally what I want to do, and just keep doing
that comes with time though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm very ambitious. I do need to like rein it in sometimes. Yeah. Because I do think, Rebecca, like, you're only this many years in, it takes time. But I'm very impatient, really impatient. So I'd say that is kind of what I'm going to keep doing. I still love weddings. I feel because we lost a lot of time with the C word, not the nice C word, that one, misfit. I feel like I lost a few years of my business. So I feel like I'm still catching up. Yeah,
I can't see you being one of those sort of bitter wedding photographers that's turning up going, oh God, another wedding to shoot. I can't see you being that kind of person.
Oh, thanks.
No, definitely not. So, bring the energy.
Oh, thanks, guys. So yeah, just doing more weddings, doing some more education things, and just because I get a real kick out of. I do love that. I find that really satisfying. So I've got a course coming out. That's coming out in the next month or so. That's been a labour of love.
The Instagram one.
Yay!
Amazing.
Yeah, big up to that. It's going to be amazing.
Thanks so much.
Seen a bit behind the scenes. It's just you've put so much into it.
Oh, thank you. So that's coming out, and that's for just all businesses. It's not just specifically photographers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Even down to the basics on kind of what to post, what times, hashtags, that sort of thing. And it's going to be an ongoing thing because it updates all the time. So I filmed it in February and already I'm like, oh, that's out of date. That's changed. That's changed. And I'm like, oh, it's really frustrating. But
that's how quickly it moves.
That Mozari guy constantly coming up and telling people
what's he saying now. Oh God.
And I'm like, what update is it now? What's happening now? But that's the thing, is it's always changing, and it's just trying to keep up with it and just embrace it. Because I think whenever there's a change, we're all like, oh, what have they done now? Why are they doing this to us? But all I want is them to let us post full-size portrait pictures.
I know, right?
That's all I want.
It's not
filling the screen, like completely.
None of this crop.
Completely. I know.
Like you probably look at my pictures and think she's cut the feet off. I'm like, no, that's the Instagram crop.
Just say, my only issue, the cutting the feet off is only an issue when like people post it intentionally in a square and they've just not adjusted the crop of the shot. It upsets me. So the crop, all I want is just a full-size portrait picture, so I can have my sky, have my floor, the feet are in there, and people don't question my composition.
But as a post rather than a story, that's the one.
Yeah, I think we're nearly there.
Yeah,
the rumor is it's going to happen.
Has he heard us moaning?
I think he has.
It's going to get there, isn't it? It's going to get there. No, it's been great having you here. I think one thing that me and Igor spoke about I think it was like when Clubhouse had come out, and I think that was when I'd first kind of. I think I was following you already at that point, but I remember me and Igor talking about you then at that stage, and we both just said straight away, like, she's got energy, that's great, and can still say it now. It hasn't changed. Like, I think it's, your journey's been amazing.
The loveliest compliment is energy.
And I don't even think it's it's not going to end here. There's still great things ahead for you if you keep it up, and buzzing to see where you take it. So thank you very much. Great episode. Enjoy that.
I've got questions. I've got some questions.
No, that's the end of the episode. It's not. Okay. This was not in the T's and C's.
It's not over.
No. Oh look, the cameras are about to finish. Oh, what a shame.
So. I'm gonna
hit us.
Hold on then. Just let people know what's happening.
Okay, so what's happening is
you're hijacking the episode.
I did message Sam and Igor like, hey, I'm gonna ask you some questions because I love the banter you guys have on your I love when it's just like not even business related. So I've got a bunch of questions that are lols.
Okay.
And then I've also opened it up to the public on Instagram and asked them what questions they want to ask you. So this is just...
Let's see where this goes then.
Okay, so this is the warm-up round of this or that. So this is just like, we'll start really nice and tame. Okay?
Strap in.
Okay, so this or that. So you can take turns. So Sam, you answer, then you answer. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this or that. Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
Dogs.
Sun or snow?
Sun.
Donuts or cookies?
Donuts.
Cookies, definitely.
Champagne or Prosecco?
Oh, champagne all day long. Don't even say it.
Over the years. Well, I married a half Italian lady, okay? So...
Say what is in your heart, Igor.
Prosecco.
Yes, man. Beer or cider?
Ooh.
Beer.
Over the years, cider, but more beer these days.
Cider
IPAs.
just tastes better.
It's too sweet for me.
Oh, I love this thing.
Love it.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Morning person or night owl?
Both.
Oh, yes, that's tough. Really tough. I'm on the fence.
I'd say night owl because I'm really good in the evening.
Yeah, me
like
too.
really, really good.
Really
that's when I get most of my
productive. Yeah.
Good work done. Yeah.
Windows or Apple?
Oh, disgusting.
Why would you eat? Why would you eat a window?
So Apple.
Apple.
Couple shoot on a beach or a mountain?
Ooh.
Mountain.
Mountain. Beach, I think.
Would you rather attend a party or host a party?
I think I'd rather attend, but I'm a hosty kind of person.
Yeah,
you're very good.
That's what I was gonna say. Me and Zai,
I like the control of it.
Self-proclaimed amazing host.
I need to see this table, by the way. I hear about this table. 3-4 episodes? Can you just put that on misery?
And it says host, but we've still not had an invite yet.
It's going to be such a disappointment.
Lose sleep or miss a meal?
Miss a meal.
No, lose sleep. Yeah, I'm on like 2-hour feeds. I am.
Board games or video games?
I mean, I've not played video game for a long
really.
time. No,
Neither, but I would be video games, 100%.
Yeah, just about video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now the questions from the people of Instagram. Okay. Actually, no, wait. Yeah, we'll go to the questions of Instagram. Okay, so here we go. There's some nice quality questions in here. Thank you, everybody.
We should have known, shouldn't we?
But quite tame. Like, I feel like they were quite polite. Okay, so one of the questions is, who is Big Spoon and who is Little Spoon?
You can answer that one, Igor.
I'd like to think I'm Big Spoon.
Okay, I'll take that.
I can see, just
I mean,
I can see
you've
myself.
got the mic. You've got the mic.
You've got the mic.
Oh my
Your little
days.
spoon. Next question is, how come I had to travel in my battered Ford Mondeo and not first class? Dan Dolan.
Dan Nolan, yeah. There's not a direct train, is there, from Lichfield?
No, and it's only half an hour away.
Yeah.
What is the best and worst kind of biscuit?
Ooh, good question.
Best,
I would. Is it a biscuit though? Yeah, it is a biscuit. I like to think. Fox's biscuits.
Nice.
Ooh, amazing. Worst.
Oreos for me.
Really?
Oreos are the best.
Have you tried the extremely chocolatey rounds from Marks Spencer's? Those?
Okay.
Elite.
Okay.
Well, Foxes do a rip-off version of it.
No, I was going to say it's the other way around. Foxes are the original and M&S.
They copied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scandal.
Worst? What's the worst kind of biscuit?
I don't know. Soggy biscuit.
Soggy biscuits are always the worst.
Yeah.
I think always like rich tea.
Rich tea, yeah,
bit
exactly.
overrated,
Yeah.
aren't they?
That's
just
it.
like a little bit of cardboard.
Yeah. Ugh.
Next question. Would you rather have fingers for toes or toes for fingers?
I have to really think hard about this one. Hold on.
Fingers, full toes, toes and full fingers. What?
So would you rather have fingers on your toes or toes on your fingers?
Ooh.
But then what happens with the other one?
Go with your gut.
I'm going to go fingers on toes.
Good choice. For audio description, Igor's looking at his hands.
We have peaked here.
Good quality content right
Yeah,
here.
here we go.
Toes, yeah.
Fine choice.
Okay.
Would you rather travel back in time to meet your ancestors or go forward to meet your great-grandkids? Good question, Emma Ryan.
That is really
I love
good.
that. Emma Ryan coming in with a deep
I
question.
think I'd rather go forward. I think I'd go future.
Yeah. Future.
Yeah, I think forward.
Just give some wise words.
Yeah.
Invest in this.
Yeah.
And I've got some other ones here. So what is your favourite part of the day, of a wedding day to photograph?
Okay. I don't know if there are so many good parts for me for a wedding day.
Yeah.
Okay, pick one.
It's hard to say. Okay, I'm going to pick one that's a little bit controversial, but I'm going to just say when it's the buzz of things are going mad, whenever that might be.
Yeah.
You know, when you, as a photographer, you feel like you're up against it. That's when I'm in like the best zone for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm like
Sort of like high
so much
pressure.
going on, so much
Yeah.
going on, high pressure. Yeah, that for me is when I'm in my element.
Nice.
I don't like it when things are just still.
Nothing's happening.
People are just stood in the same spot, having average. I want things to be going off in all different directions.
Get
When
that
I'm like,
Jenga out.
damn it, I should have
Get
brought
that
3 other
limbo.
shoots with me. That's when I'm like,
That's it.
Yeah.
that's when I love it.
For me, I sort of like had to learn to accept this, because it's what I'm good at. But portraits, it's my favorite bit because it's when I get creative. It's when I'm like, let's go here, let's go there, let's do this, let's do that, and you really team up with your couples in order to kind of like create the shots that you.
And then 4 hours later, they're like, Igor.
No, it's rather quick. It's rather quick, but yeah.
What is your least favourite part of the wedding day to photograph?
Oh, that's quite easy. I think it's just like the bridal prep and groom prep.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that part.
It's not. No, you said least favourite.
But least favourite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favourite.
Nice.
It sets the scene.
And I suppose to counter the favourite part is the least favourite is when it's just like nothing.
I'm going to say
when
speeches.
It's static.
Speeches for me.
Actually, no, I quite like speeches.
If they're good, I'm loving it. But if
there is
not,
nothing
I'm
worse
like,
than the cakes and tears moment.
Especially if speeches are staggered throughout the whole call.
Speech, speech.
Yeah.
Who came up with that?
Just do it all in one go and then enjoy it. What would I say? I'm going to be a bit controversial here, but sort of like evenings when it's like, I don't even do them these days, but like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., even sort of like midnight, sort of like dance floor shots. I'm like, nah, I'm just...
Once you've got some good dance floor stuff in, you've got it.
Yeah, that's it.
What is the biggest mistake you've made while shooting a wedding?
I know yours. Do you know what? We had this conversation in one of the early episodes. I don't think I've made a massive mistake.
Come on, you must have shot JPEG.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. Well, no, I haven't done that. I haven't shot JPEG.
He's that good.
Prep. I did.
Okay, I'm wondering if I've made another mistake in this, but asking the groom if he'd seen the groom.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Have you got it now?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Have you seen Andy?
Have you seen the groom? I am the groom.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Oh, yeah. I don't ask that one again.
How did I do that? I think I've mistaken the dad for the groom for the dad. Yeah, I've done that before. But biggest mistake has definitely been shooting in small JPEG, literally small JPEG, and
Been there, my friend.
Yeah.
Describe the worst supplier meal you've ever been fed at a wedding.
Other than not being given a supplier meal?
Oh, yeah, that's
there's that. A cheese sandwich with a few crisps, no butter on the bread.
No butter.
No pickle, nothing. Cheese sandwich.
Fuming.
Yeah. I didn't stay long after that one. They didn't get much out of me. And this is the thing, isn't it? Like, if you look, like, if couples want
take care of your suppliers.
Good images in the evening, like, look after your suppliers.
I fed mine 3 courses.
Yeah. Like, you just, like, as a supplier, like, we give more, don't we? If you feel like you've been looked after, you're like, right,
I love these guys.
Right, sunset now, let's go. Like, you like pumped up, but if you get a dry cheese sandwich, you're like,
that on a sandwich.
I'm a bit flat.
Yeah. Burnt lasagna. Literally dry ass. You could.
I mean, it's hard to get lasagna wrong, isn't it?
I know, right?
But
I actually sent it back.
Really?
Yeah, I did send it back. So yeah.
What is your favourite song to dance on the dance floor at a wedding? What is like your jam that you're like, yes, and the cameras are swinging on the harness and it's going off? Really?
Yeah, I love it when it comes on.
Oh
brilliant.
God, you always surprise me.
Yeah.
I thought you might be a Con Eileen kind of guy.
I know, I can't stand Come On Eileen. Cannot stand it. Yeah, it's one of the worst songs in the world for me.
So for me, it's Valerie. Or Dancing in the Moonlight. Oh.
Okay.
What, worst songs?
That for me.
Yeah, I can't stand Dancing in the Moonlight.
So yours is Boots with the Fur.
Boots with the Fur.
Apple Bunch. Brilliant. What's your favourite?
I can't think. I'm like, that's my jam.
What's your jam?
That's my jam. Oh yeah, Kanye and Jay-Z. Yeah, whenever they show up.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
What's your order?
What's the Tanjo? Jump on it. That's
yes. If you could Freaky Friday body swap with any wedding photographer, who would it be and why?
Ooh.
What?
So Freaky Friday, just for context, is when you body swap with somebody.
Yeah.
Body swaps.
Like Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. So you could pick any wedding photographer in the world. Who would you spend a day shooting a wedding as, and why? That's a good question. That's my question.
But it has to be a wedding photographer.
Yeah, it has to be a wedding photographer. I'll go first. So I would pick Jose Villa.
Okay.
Definitely. Just because I'd be fascinated to see one of his weddings.
The whole world.
Yeah.
Really
and like the celebs. I'd be really intrigued.
Yeah. I did think of him, and then I thought, nah.
That's really got me stumped.
Oh,
It's really hard.
that's
Really hard.
That's really got me stumped.
Really hard.
Oh.
I just don't know. I don't often look at. I don't look at.
Not out of curiosity, just for like, that'd be interesting.
Simply because I really, really admire him as a photographer, but would love to be fly on the wall. Oh, body swap. Nirav Patel.
Yes.
He's incredible. Just reads light in a really beautiful way.
Yeah. Are we saying that you would shoot like them as well? So you just like you're in their mind. So you're just okay.
Okay, yeah. In
so
that sense.
Okay, I'd probably go fair.
Yeah.
Just because it's I'd love to
think like he thinks.
Think like how he thinks.
I modelled for one of his shoots and it was fascinating.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
20 minutes on one shot, and we were like, what is he doing? Like with a mirror, genius.
Yeah.
His brain. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah. Well, that for me is why you can't ever kind of. Yeah, so you can't imitate anybody.
You can't because
like, that fair's fair, isn't it? It's like,
definitely. Last question. I've built my portfolio. I'm a year into shooting weddings. It's going well, but the next step is taking it full time. What steps should I prioritize to get myself to that level? My ultimate aim is the luxury market and destinations.
How long have you got? It's a great question. So just recap. A year in. Yeah. Work's going well.
Yeah. Next step is going full time.
Next step is going full time.
And what should they prioritize?
I think we've already touched on it a bit. It's just constantly marketing everything, because for me, you only get to that stage of being able to charge more for weddings and to go full time you've got to get those inquiries in first. Like if those inquiries aren't coming in and you're not like turning people away constantly, you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
You're not doing enough. It's as simple as that. And if you're not doing enough, you're not going to get those inquiries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that especially if you want to go into the luxury sort of like market, if that's sort of like your pinnacle sort of, that's your aim, that's your goal. Second shoot for other photographers that are within that market, because it's so hard to get in. It's really hard to get those sort of jobs really. So definitely try to second shoot as much as possible, learn as much as possible, network within that industry, and be open to the fact that to those photographers, that's what you want to do. I want to really go into this market. I want to learn as much as possible from you. What can I offer?
Your brand's got to reflect it as well.
Very
you
much.
have to have a really good understanding of what people want in that market.
And knowing that world.
One thing I've been hovering over it for months now, is just adding a film camera, like medium format film camera.
It's all about film right now, isn't it?
Because I used to shoot it, and I'm like, I've never done it as a wedding photographer. Actually, I'd love to do it now, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But because I think my clients now will really get it. I think when I was starting out, they probably wouldn't have bought into it. But actually, the market that I'm in now, I can kind of see that, for an extra fee, I'll shoot a roll of film and would add it.
Yeah.
I think actually they'd appreciate it more, and I think it would complement. So something like that, maybe just adding a bit of film photography to your work. And, making sure that brand is on point.
And last question, were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Should we end on that?
Were they?
I don't know. Yeah, they were on a very small break, but
intermittent breaks.
Brilliant!
Thank you for answering all these questions.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming to Derby.
Thanks for having me.
Honestly, it does mean a lot, and we're really appreciative that you've given us your time and your opinions and your thoughts, and we've been able to have a chat and just find out a bit more about stuff. Anything you want to close out on?
No, it's been amazing, and again, thank you for coming, and we'll definitely have you back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Shall we go and eat the Colin caterpillar?
Colin the caterpillar.
Shall we go out and eat the Colin caterpillars?
Let's do it.
Amazing. Thanks, Rebecca.
Woo. Yay!
Boom.